Hey, what's going on YouTube? Kyle here with Dabbers Cards and Games. I'm also joined here with Brian Lentini. You're actually an employee here at Dabbers.
Yeah.
And when we saw that you topped, that was actually fucking cool as shit, like seeing your name up there and whatnot. You actually just got off top 32 at Portland with a cool Warrior Orcus deck. Were you expecting to do so well at this tournament?
So yeah, it's actually like kind of funny like how I picked the deck, and so like first off, shout outs to my brother Frank.
Yeah.
He's the one who like gave me the idea, but basically I didn't really know what to play, and I was considering going back to Thunder because I played the Dragon Link at the Pro Play Tour. I didn't think the deck was good enough, and he was like, well, you had a lot of success at the tail end of like last season at some regionals with the Orcus cards. Like, why don't you pick up the Orcus cards again? And I kind of strayed away from them when Bardich got banned because I was like, they didn't feel as strong.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine. I saw like the two builds from the UDS, like the pure going second build and the Dark Warrior build. So I was like, all right, there's two lists. I'll try them out. And I was like, this deck's crazy. And I had all the Warrior cards from when I played Goki. So I was like, let's just go there and like play the deck and like just have fun. And like I was just more excited to like visit Portland and see what it was about, but I was not expecting to do well at all. But like round 3 I kind of just like started to feel it, and
that's always a good thing though when you're mid-tournament and you're just like, it clicks and you're just like, okay, we're gonna make this run. That's awesome. Do you remember any of your matchups or anything like that?
I have them written down here.
Like, is there any just like awful matchup for this deck?
Cyber Dragons is like really terrible, and I played that in round 4.
Yeah.
Connector was really helpful in that matchup, so I could like set up the right board with like, because a lot of times I go for Crescendo, but like ending on Dingirsu, Long Girsu with the field spell is like better against a lot of the combo decks because you can just like pop the monsters that they put on field to try and summon with. And so he got like 2 Cyber Dragons on board, but like I knew the other cards in his hand were dead because they were like duplies that I saw off Connector or Dolphin. And so I was able to just like play around like him only being able to field 2 Cyber Dragons, and I could pop them because like if they field even 1, they can just eat your entire field.
Yeah.
So like it's actually just crazy, and like literally somehow I didn't even lose a game to him. I was shocked.
That's crazy.
It was a 2-0. But that one's kind of hard. But other than that, the other weird matchup was round 2. I almost lost to Medolce, but he misplayed and like gave me an extra turn, and I was able to kill him because I had done a lot of damage to him. So, other than that, I don't know. It was a lot of just like various stuff. Like pretty much everything: Thunder, Orcus, Striker, Draco, like random rogue decks.
What was your record after Swiss?
I was 8-2.
Okay. And you finished, you said 6th?
6th.
That's good. That's really good. Let's see what you played.
Yeah. So for the main deck, it's 55 cards. Obviously, it's all like Isolde turbo cards. So like Connector and Dolphin. This is like the best engine because it lets you potentially hand loop your opponent for 2 to 3 cards. And like the ending board, the best ending board has Fogblade, Celestial Spheres, Hot Red, the entire Orcus play, and then you can loop for 1 to 3 cards, always with Levianeer, and then depending on if you open away to this.
Wow.
But yeah, this card was absurd. Every time I saw it, it was like insane. And then just like more extenders, like Red Layer, Junk Forward. You're playing like, it's a 55 card deck, so you have to play like a ton of cards. Like this card's not as good, so I would side it out often, but like just redundancy to see things. So all the Warrior extenders to make Isolde, because that's the crazy thing is like Isolde is just the entire Orcus and Guard Dragon play by itself. So like just making Isolde is key, and then the Phantom Knights, they're just good Warrior cards too, and they let you play Fogblade even without Rusty, and you can tutor them off Isolde. And then the Orcus cards, just the like one-of package. I didn't think you need any more. Sometimes it was like weird if you open one, but like you could usually discard them, especially with like Brotar and stuff. You didn't even have to make like Mermaid to like get rid of, because like if you open Nightmare, you can't like Mermaid to get it out of your hand. But yeah, like Brotar is like another card for that, and then like the dragon cards, Arma and Greffer. You have to play this in case you open the Arma, but like usually search it off as Zold to like make a follow-up play, because it can like send the Orcus cards again after you put them back in deck. But yeah, this card's absurd. They need to ban it, but it lets you get to Strudo and then go into these guys for the hand loop. And then I played hand traps. I played the same hand traps as the UDS list. 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, and 3 Droll.
I think these were the right ones to choose to.
So the only one I considered changing was the Droll.
Sure.
I didn't think it would be as strong, and I was expecting more Orcus, so I wanted Impermanence. Maybe I should have just played Valor, because I don't like the way that Impermanence works with the Shade card. So I considered changing these out for Impermanence, though. I thought the other ones were fine. Like, Ogre doesn't really do a ton against Orcus, but, like, it's just good against, like, Pendulums and, like, any of the Guard Dragon variants. So, like, having that, and then Ash is just pretty much good against, like, everything. So, and then, like, you just have to play a ton, so you open at least 1 to 2.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't necessarily think the Droll was correct, but it was fine. So... and then these are more warrior cards. The Babel for the Orcus, and then the Equips, the best one, and the ones that say Special Summon. Ignorant limited cards, and that's the spells. For the traps, Warriors, Crescendo, and then Fogblade.
Okay.
So, pretty simple there.
He says it was 55 cards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Extra, got the token. 2 is old, she's like the main card. I don't know if you play 2 of her going forward, if people figure out this deck, but a lot of the times people would like hand trap the first one before I use the summon from deck effect, or like they would like remove it from the field like with like a pop effect and like hope I wasn't playing the second one, but like I was. So it actually like won me like 3 or 4 matches maybe just having a second one. So, because it's like the good players aren't going to do that, but like you're not only going to play good players at a YCS, so like you got to be able to win like the early rounds, and like having something like this like just ended up helping. Then the Orcus cards, Long Girsu, 2 Galatea, I left my ulti at home, and then Dingirsu. This card's really absurd right now. And the fact you can make it off like a generic Link 2 that also like sets a counter trap is just like really good. And then the Nightmares to go with it, the Unicorn, Phoenix, and Mermaid. The cool thing about these cards too is like with the Orcus package is if your Guard Dragon play gets stopped and the Isolde gets stopped, like you just need another extender and like you can still like combo them, and they've usually used a lot of resources at that point. And then the Dragons is Triple Burst and Celestial Spheres, and then the 2 Guard Dragon cards and Hot Red for the combo. And then the last card in the extra deck is Raijin for the instant fusion.
For the instant fusion, okay.
Yeah. In the side deck, I played Pancratops to out back row. It's obviously just a good card. Lancia. This side deck is pretty much the same as Dieter's, but this is different. He played Gnome, which is also good against Orcus, and I was expecting a ton of Orcus, but because Pure had won that event, I knew like a lot of people would be on the bandwagon for Pure Thunder, and like I just felt like this had like a more versatile reach than Gnome did. And then like Called by the Greatest for going first. Card's pretty good, but like you can play through hand traps, so like honestly like I rarely saw it, and like I didn't even need it most of the time. And then back row sucks, so you have to play this, and because the deck's so big you just have to play a ton of it. And then the cool thing about Cyclone is it doubles as like a card against the Orcus matchup, because like the blind second build is playing Mystic Mine, but like also it can out crescendo with the Dingirsu up. You can't protect it.
Awesome, man. You have any shots you want to give?
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, my brother Frank for helping me come up with the idea to play the deck. the other Frank, Nicola, who ended up putting me up, Jafar for putting that together, because he was like the only person I knew, and he went to the event with me.
Yeah.
And he had a place to stay, and he's like, let me just hit up people. And I kind of knew Frank like a little bit, and so he just hits me. I was like, you need a floor to sleep on? I'm like, yeah, for sure. So
Thank you to Frank, then.
but yeah, everyone else, like my friends, family, like all the people who supported me, like y'all know who you are, but I feel like there's just like way too many to mention.
I can imagine.
Because I've met so many people playing this game.
Isn't that a cool thing, though? You just meet
Yeah.
some people. Like, I know so many people just playing cards. It's kind of overwhelming when you kind of think about
It's
it.
crazy.
So that's
A lot
awesome.
of them just end up being like friends for life too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually crazy, man.
So
Well, congratulations on top 32. I know this is not going to be the end of everything. You're just getting started.
Yeah.
Like you won that regional not too long ago, and you topped this, so we're going to see a lot more out of you. Obviously, you work for the store, so I have access to all your profiles now. But yeah, it's been Kyle and Brian with Dabbers Cards and Games. We'll see you guys later.